Hello everybody and welcome back. Today with part 2 of my audition mini-series, which will be a 3-parter. You may have already seen part 1. If not, I will leave a link down below or pop it on the end screen of this video. The first one was all about everything before you even apply to an audition, so the ads, your footage, your CV, your portfolio photos, and touched on social media a little bit as well. This one's more of the middle section, so it's everything from the email and actually applying to an audition up until actually booking your audition. I'm doing this video for the Wonderful World of Dance as part of their Wonderful World of Dance TV. It's a beautiful dance magazine of which I have just joined the team. So to jump right in, your email. I talked about audition ads on the last episode. They will always put in that ad how to contact them. So whether that's an email address or it might be a form to fill in on their webpage, therefore there will be a link to their webpage. This is going by the email route just because predominantly they'll get you to email your application. So to start with the email, the aim of the game is obviously to get an audition. However, for that you need the director to actually open your email. And the only thing they'll see on the front of the email is your email address and the subject title. Now, your email address really doesn't need to be anything other than your name. I think my first one was twinkletoes-Becca back when I was very little. Not necessary. Keep it professional, nothing with silly pet names in it or nicknames. Very simple. joeblogs@hotmail.co.uk. Keep it as simple as possible. They don't need to be judging you on your actual email address before they've even looked at your CV. The other thing is a subject title. Now, try not to put anything too flamboyant in from what I'm about to say. However, if you envisaged a director's email inbox at audition season or the auditions email, that it would just say audition application, audition application, audition application. Just like rows and rows of audition applications. So maybe pop something in there that maybe makes your email stand out. So something a little different. I would always put my name in there, and then I would put contract opportunities or company class if that's why I was emailing also. Something like that. Get a bit creative. Again, within the boundaries, not look at me, open me. It's not Alice in Wonderland, but you know. Then, as you get into your email, how and who to address the email to. Always research the director's name and then put Dear Mr. or Mrs. and then their last name. Do not write to whom it may concern, because it really doesn't portray any interest. If you haven't even looked at what the director's name is, it's not a good start. So address it to the director by their name. And then throughout the email, address the company by the company's name. You should be writing a separate email for every audition that you apply, not a bog standard email with no specific details in it of the company of which you're sending, and then just bulk send it to 10 different companies or 50. Do not do that, because something always goes wrong with it. One, it shows that the email is not going to be personal or specific to that company whatsoever, and they see a million of them, they'll know that. It doesn't show the greatest of interest. Also, there'll always be mistakes. You'll always, send the wrong thing to the wrong one, or they start replying and it's going to all the other emails that you've added in there, which doesn't look good either. So, separate email for every application. Yeah, it's time consuming, but it's free, so no complaints there. Do your research a little bit. I used to put a line or two about the company in there, whether it was something about the upcoming rep or the choreographers that they're working with at the time, dancers, the city, whatever. Just a line or two that just shows a bit of personality and that you've done some research and you actually know something about the company, what they're about, just something like that. Nothing rambling again, like they're not gonna read a short novel. Just a line or two to show that you've actually are interested in that company, not just any company. Yeah, so keep it short and sweet. At the bottom of the email, I would always thank them for their time. Now, directors are busy, you know, they look at a million applications. So if they have actually opened and read yours, I think they could be thanked for that. So I would end my email thanking them for their time and looking forward to hearing from them. Just hint that you would like to hear from them. Just a little call to action there. Yeah, and then obviously yours sincerely, kind regards, blah blah blah. With regards to anything else that needs to be in the email, obviously you need your attachments there and you'll need your video footage and links. Apart from that, a dear so-and-so, a short, this is where I've trained, this is where I'm dancing, hello, my name is, something small about the company, and then wrap it up. They do not need a short novel, but you want to have shown your interest in a nice way, in a short and sweet way. Always proofread your emails, whether that's for spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes. Double, triple check the name of the company and the spelling, and the name of the director and the spelling. Most embarrassing thing, if you've, it's just like, when I get an email, someone's misspelled my name that's actually in my email address, that's not cool. So that's something that bugs me. So I know I think it would certainly bug if you're applying for somewhere. So yeah, that's the actual email. Don't forget to attach your PDF documents, so your CV and your portfolio pictures, because there are a lot of occasions where people will send their applications if they've actually forgot to put their attachments in, and then you've got to do it all over again, because if you just send it separately, they won't ever find it. So attach your PDF document, which is your CV, with your portfolio pictures and headshot, and link in your footage then down below. The second thing I'm going to talk about is correspondence. So it is very natural for dancers to either not hear back from an email application or not follow up. I personally will always follow up from any interaction that I have had with a company or director. It just shows good manners, in my opinion. So if you get a yes to your audition, just send a quick one back. Thank you so much, can't wait. But, you know, in a professional way. If you get a no, follow up. Just send them a short reply with thank you so much for your consideration. I shall reapply at a later date. You know, if you think that's appropriate. No doesn't always mean no for once and for all. So keep them sweet. Unanswered emails. So in my most recent audition season, I sent out about 50 emails. I sent out about 50 emails in October, and then I resent them out late December for the actual audition season as again. So even the ones I hadn't heard from, I just reapplied saying, I contacted you recently, a little roundup of that, and then straight back into my application, just to stay on their tail so in case they missed me the first time. Again, it's all balanced. Don't be annoying to a company. There's a fine line of being annoying and being eager, and don't cross it. Okay, so then part 3, this gets onto the actual booking of an audition. So you've got an email back and you have been accepted for an audition. First thing I would do with that, and you may have already done this in your research for the company before you applied or after you got the email. Check the page on the website with the dancers and their portfolio photos. You'd be surprised at how many people you may know from summer programs, from your training, anything like that. You'll be surprised at who you'll find on a company website that you perhaps didn't realise was in the company. And then if you feel it's appropriate, you can always send them a quick message asking for some information about the city, some travel info, if they know a place to stay that's cheap or close to the theatre. Most company dancers don't mind that, as long as you're not asking too much of them, or if you're not so comfortable with them to ask them all of that, send them a message saying if I could ask you a couple of questions, and they'll either say yay or nay. So doesn't hurt to ask, and you never know, they might even end up having a spare room and offering that you can stay with them, which is a great money saver. So don't know until you ask. Try that. Equally, with people you might know at the company, you'll be shocked at the amount of times that dancers rock up to an audition. You will always know a handful of people, always. I've actually gone to an audition and 2 other dancers from my company, were at the same audition. Whether on my flight or not, I don't know. You know, I thought I didn't see anyone, so, but anyway, we were all there the next day. So that was silly because we could have travelled together and we all could have stayed in one place, ergo making the costs cheaper. Anyway, some people are a bit funny and more private about auditions, so just be respectful of that, but you never know. Also, whenever I was flying out to an audition, especially if it's in Europe because everything else is so close, I would look at the surrounding areas if there are any other companies that I could get to audition to, or even just take company class, so that I tie it in, whether it's like a short train journey or if it's a stopover on the way back if you're flying. Then I always do a bit of research there, because you could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I would always do some research on that also. With regards to where to stay, I actually, not in my first round of auditions, because I'm not sure it was even existed at that time. However, in my more recent professional round of auditions, I used Airbnb as somewhere to stay. It is drastically cheaper than hotels, and it tends to mean that you will have somewhere with a little kitchenette so you can cook yourself. You may feel better if you've cooked yourself the night before or that morning. That might feel better for the actual audition. It also cuts down on costs of eating out, and also if you're staying somewhere that's a spare room in an apartment, it's likely that the person who owns the apartment or is renting to you is a local. They're great for asking questions on the area, how they like living there, things like that. So I've always had very good experiences with using Airbnb on my recent auditions. Yeah, it's just an all-round great money saver. There's plenty of options, so you know you can be comfortable. With regards to flying, as most of us do have to fly to auditions, advice would be leave enough time so that if there is a problem with your flight, or your flight is delayed or cancelled, you do have time to get another one out before the actual audition day. Always check your audition times for booking, things like this, and check that if you're booking, for example, an Airbnb or a hotel, do double check the distance and how to get from where you're staying to the theatre, opera house, studios, whatever it may be. I used to try to avoid having to use public transport on the day of an audition if I could get close enough and it was affordable, just because I feel I'm much more reliable walking than relying on something where getting on a bus that I don't know, the ticket system or how to get there. It's just less stress. So that is everything I have for this video. I hope it's been helpful for you. You can also visit my website. I have a few blog posts there on auditioning and the audition period, how to handle it, things like that, or other tips that I do have. So that will all be linked down below if you're interested in that. Yes, thank you so much for watching. The final episode will be what to take to the audition, how to prepare for an audition, and the actual audition day. Do subscribe if you're looking forward to that video, and if you click the bell you'll be notified when I upload it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day and wish you a lot of success with your upcoming auditions.